In the beginning, this world had nothing, but then the goddess created 9 races. Dragonites, elves, demons, dwarves, the Demon King race, dark elves, chamis, beast folk, and lastly, the weakest of them all, humans. The story begins with a boy named Light. He says goodbye to his family and heads out on a brand new journey. Since childhood, he had only one dream. No matter what it took, he wanted to become an adventurer. And since his race was human, he knew the path wouldn't be easy. He finally arrives at a city where people from all over the world gather just to become adventurers. He starts looking around, hoping to find an adventurers guild as soon as possible. But suddenly, a few beastmen show up behind him and start talking trash. In this world, humans are considered extremely weak and are bullied constantly. Light finally enters the Adventurers Guild and speaks with the receptionist. He begins the registration process. She asks him if he has any kind of gift. He answers confidently saying yes, he does. His gift is called Unlimited Gacha. A set of cards appears in front of him, and if he wants, he can summon whatever appears on them into real life. But Light is only level 15, so he can't use this ability properly yet. His first summons are a broken fork, a rotten apple, and a stale piece of bread. Even the receptionist looks a little confused seeing this. She asks what he wants to do next, and he says he wants to become an adventurer. She points him toward the quest board, but he can't read anything. She sighs and tells him his gift is low rank anyway, so she has some basic jobs for him. He can collect firewood, coal, or dirt. Light is passionate about becoming an adventurer, so he agrees immediately. He heads into the forest and works hard to gather wood, coal, and finally dirt. He earns a small amount of money. He thinks to himself that it isn't much, but at least he can buy dinner. As he walks away, some beast folk block his path again. They blame him for bumping into them and take the little money he earned. He can't fight back. He's a human and he's only level 15. No one steps in to help him. But suddenly, a hand reaches out to him. Light looks up and sees a beautiful elf. She tells him he doesn't need to be afraid. Light is shocked. Elves are considered upper class and they look down on humans, but this elf is different. Her companions join her and introduce themselves. They are members of the Genko tribe. Son, one of them, a wolf beastman named Go, speaks up. Then everyone gives their introduction. Sasha, the level 308 elf. Drago, the level 512 dragon. Aboro, the level 3001 dwarf. Sino, the dark elf. And finally, Zur, a chimera. They tell Light they just need one human to complete their group and ask if he'd like to join them. Light can't believe anyone would want to be his friend, but he happily agrees. The next day, the group explores a dungeon. A bunch of snake monsters attack Light, but Drago steps in and kills them instantly. Another snake launches at him, but Sasha jumps in and saves him again. She leans closer and asks if he's hurt, calling him adorable. Everyone treats him kindly, and Light loves the atmosphere. There's no discrimination, no hate. Soon, the group starts teasing Sasha and Light, making jokes, and Light enjoys it even more. Drago suddenly tells him to stand up because he wants to drink the tea Light makes. Light is thrilled because they treat him like one of their own. Eventually, the group reaches a dead end. Drago tells them this spot will work. Everyone becomes serious, even Sasha, but Light stays busy preparing tea for everyone. Suddenly, Drago approaches him and says they've decided to kick him out of the group. Light freezes, not understanding what he means. Drago repeats himself. Light is no longer part of their group. Go steps forward, saying Light didn't hear him properly. He's out. Even Sasha, who had been so kind, suddenly gets angry and says she never liked him. Everyone starts insulting him. Light is confused and tries to laugh it off, asking where the hidden camera is, but they tell him it's not a prank. They say they never liked him from the beginning. Light asks why they suddenly want to kill him and they tell him the real reason, his gift, Unlimited Gacha. Light doesn't understand. They explain that their boss ordered them to kill him, so they befriended him just to lower his guard. Now they plan to finish him off. Gro attacks first. When the hit lands, Light finally realizes everything they said was true. Terrified, he runs for his life, but Go enjoys the chase and keeps striking at him. Sasha fires an arrow that knocks Light to the ground. Go moves toward Light and starts slashing him with his claws. He kicks him hard and sends him flying across the ground. Then he says he's going to torture him slowly until he dies. And he begins stomping on Light's wounds over and over, but Sasha tells him to finish it quickly. Somewhere inside, Light still has a tiny hope of surviving. Gar steps forward to deliver his final attack, but at that very moment, Light slowly crawls forward. Suddenly, a teleportation circle activates beneath him. Gro charges in to finish the job, but Light vanishes. When Light opens his eyes, he realizes he's still inside the dungeon. Later, he discovers he has been teleported to the lowest level of the abyss. This is a place filled only with monsters above level 1000, all of them around shrank. Light whispers to himself, wondering if he's already dead. What mistake had he even made? He thinks of his parents and starts crying, knowing he'll never be able to return. He remembers his group again and asks why they betrayed him. He wants nothing more than to destroy every one of them, but he can't do anything. He has no power and he's only level 15. As he's speaking, a level 1000 monster appears behind him. It's a mythical class creature, extremely powerful. It walks toward him, and Light is terrified. He says he'll have to use his worthless ability one last time. Light activates unlimited Gacha. Suddenly, a bright light bursts out from the card just as the monster charges at him. And then a very cute girl materializes from the light. In a single second, she obliterates the level 1000 monster completely. Light can't even understand what just happened. The girl who appeared looks overpowered and is wearing a maid uniform. She walks toward Light, places her hand on him, and heals all his wounds in an instant. It seems she used super medicate. Light realizes all his injuries are completely gone. He doesn't feel any pain anymore. They introduce themselves. The maid learns that her master's name is Light and she becomes very happy when she hears it. She thinks to herself that Lord Light is such a beautiful name. She continues talking to him. Light asks for her name and she tells him her name is May. Her level is 999, which means she's extremely powerful. May explains everything about herself. She says she is a super ultra rare guard who was summoned here through Light's unlimited Gacha. Light can't believe his ability could ever summon someone this overpowered. But May tells him that Lord Light's power is extremely strong and can even become dangerous. She starts explaining more about unlimited Gacha, but first, she asks him if she may appraise him, which is one of her many skills. Light soon learns that she doesn't have just one gift, but many. May uses her appraisal skill and begins analyzing his body. She notices his sword is incredibly large, which means the plot is going to develop in a very interesting direction. So then she explains how unlimited Gacha actually works. With this gift, Light can summon many types of cards. Super rare cards, super ultra rare cards, normal cards, and error cards. The results depend on the amount of mana in the air around him. That's why when he used his magic in the Adventurers Guild, nothing great appeared. The air had no mana at all. But here at the lowest level of the abyss, the mana is extremely dense. That's why he could summon a super ultra rare guard. Now, Light finally begins to understand his ability. May thanks him for coming all the way down to this level of the dungeon just so she could be summoned. Light tells her everything. He says he didn't come here on purpose. He was betrayed and thrown into this place by the people he trusted. He cries saying he never did anything wrong. Seeing Light cry makes May emotional and she becomes even angrier on his behalf. She says if he wants she can bring him the heads of every single one of his former teammates. He only needs to give the order, but Light stops her immediately. He says he doesn't want her to kill them because he will take his revenge himself. His only mistake was being weak, but now he says he has had enough. He will become powerful and he will destroy each one of his teammates with his own hands. May promises she will stay with him no matter what path he chooses. Light thanks her. After that, Light uses his unlimited Gacha ability once again in the abyss, planning to build a massive kingdom right here. And from that kingdom, he will take his revenge. And now we move to the story. 3 years later, inside the same base, Light has built an enormous kingdom using his unlimited Gacha. He walks forward and we see that he has summoned an entire army of maids. By now, Light has also become a bit stronger. He truly loves his kingdom and everyone living there praises him. All the maids are crazy about getting a chance to serve Light, but he keeps moving forward as usual. Slowly, Light has developed his kingdom into something impressive. And in this kingdom, only humans live because every other species had betrayed him. Light addresses his people and everyone looks genuinely happy with him. They all see him as their king and they truly adore him. Moving ahead, Light asks May about one of his special cards summoned through unlimited Gacha, and she's extremely powerful. She's a scout who keeps an eye on monsters in the forest. Light's entire surrounding territory is deep forest, so Aoki plays a major role. Light then asks May about Ellie. Ellie is a mage he also summoned through unlimited Gacha and she's level 999. She is extremely overpowered as well. They need to expand the kingdom as soon as possible because they're running out of food. Next, we learn about another new card Light summoned. Her name is Najuna. She's level 9999 and she's a knight. Light asks May where Najuna is. Najuna usually spends the whole day and night patrolling the castle, watching for intruders. We see her in a knight uniform as she begins her rounds. Meanwhile, Light and May finally arrive back at the castle where Light meets his trainer. Jack also summoned through unlimited gacha. When Jack sees Light, he casually says, "Hey, Light, what's up?" May doesn't like this at all because she can't tolerate any human being too casual with her master. Light then leaves with Jack to begin training. We learn that Light has already been training for a while and his level has started to increase. He goes one-on-one with Jack, punching him in the stomach, but Jack's iron blood barrier ability keeps him completely unharmed. Light can't do any damage at all. They continue training while Najuna keeps patrolling. Suddenly, she runs into a group of maids. These maids are jealous of May, the head maid, because she stays with Light 24 hours a day. They stop Najuna and say, "Najuna, are you free? We need to talk." Then they fill her head with lies. They tell her she should patrol Lord Light's room. Najuna, being a bit naive, agrees and heads straight to Light's room. She meets May there, who becomes extremely shy when she sees Najuna. Najuna begins questioning May. What is she doing in Light's room? Are they trying to twist the story? As she looks around, she notices the bed and she immediately suspects May. Najuna shows May a letter, the one the other maids gave her. She reads it out loud. The letter is full of insults aimed at May. When May hears this, she becomes furious. As a reward, May hands Najuna some money. Najuna then goes to a shop to buy something and returns to the castle. There she meets Aoki, who has just come back from the surface. Najuna asks her how things are outside. Did she fight any monsters? Aoki tells her, "No, there are no monsters around." Najuna becomes happy hearing that. Aoki then shows her a letter she obtained, and Najuna praises her. Meanwhile, Light is still training with Jack in the dungeon. Keep exchanging punches without stopping. Najuna now has nothing to do, so she goes to Light's throne. She sits on it and starts fantasizing, imagining that Light is sitting with her, planning their future kingdom together. But in the middle of her daydream, she accidentally knocks off a piece of a statue and breaks it. Panicking, she quickly fixes it and runs away. Back to Light and Jack. After training, they go to bathe and rest. While bathing, Jack tells Light, "Master, we need to go to the surface." The moment Light hears the word surface, he remembers his past, especially the beetle incident. He says, "Yes, Jack. I have to go. I need to complete my revenge. But this time, I'll always keep my guard up so no one can betray me again." Meanwhile, we see May and the other maids. May has now learned what they all think of her. The other maids are terrified because they know May is level 9999 and also the Chimera Light summoned first. They panic and apologize to her. May says, "Why did you insult me in the letter?" The maids stutter and say it was a mistake. May scolds them heavily. They all tremble in fear. May finally gives them their punishment. "You must clean the entire hall yourselves and without using any magic." The maids are shocked. Without magic? But how? May looks at them and says, "Do you have a problem with that?" They immediately reply, "No, headmaid May, not at all." Terrified, they all run off to do the punishment. Now we return to Najuna, who is out in the city. Suddenly, Ellie shows up behind her. The two start talking and as usual, both of them end up fighting over Light. Ellie says, "I have only one dream, to have dinner with Lord Light." Najuna replies, "Yeah, same here. And I also want to play with his sword." Najuna pauses and asks, "Sword? What does that even mean?" But Najuna is so clueless that she has no idea what Ellie is talking about. Ellie is a magician who uses magic while Najuna only has her sword, but her swordsmanship is incredible. Later that night, we see all the maids holding another secret meeting. They whisper nervously, "Oh no, May found out about our plan. Should we poison her?" Someone quickly says, "No, we can't. She's immune to poison." Then they all panic, wondering what to do. They all feel jealous of May because she stays with Light 24 hours a day. They even start thinking that May knows every inch of Light's body. Soon they learn that May was the first card Light ever summoned using unlimited gacha. Hearing this makes them even more frantic. Just then, May herself walks in. She says, "It seems you were talking about me." All of them panic. "No, headmaid May, we weren't saying anything." They're terrified. May tells them that when Light first summoned her, they had no time for anything else. Hearing this gives the maids a tiny bit of relief, but they're still extremely scared. They beg her not to kill them. "Please, May, we're like your loyal pet dogs. Please forgive us." But May gives them another punishment. She says, You will clean Lord Light's throne room, and you will do it without magic. The maids panic even more. Without magic, how are we supposed to do that? May replies, you should have thought about that earlier. A moment later, all the maids arrive in the throne room and begin cleaning everything by hand. But then something goes wrong. While one of the maids is cleaning the throne, she accidentally knocks off a small piece of a statue and breaks it. All of them freeze in shock. Meanwhile, we see Najuna getting ready for bed. Tomorrow, she has to join Light on an important mission. She tells herself, I have to make Lord Light happy somehow. Tomorrow, I'll be training with him. The next morning, Light walks into the dungeon where he meets Najuna, Aoki, and Ellie. They begin discussing their plan to accompany Light to the surface. Today is the day he will finally complete his revenge. He agrees to take all three of them with him. They continue talking, but suddenly a huge hellhound appears behind them. When Light sees it, he remembers his terrifying past, the time when he had no power and the hellhound attacked him before. But now, things are completely different. As soon as the maids see the hellhound, they become furious. Their mana and aura skyrocket to insane levels. The hellhound becomes terrified, overwhelmed by the power of the three girls and drops to its knees. But Light stops them. He walks toward the hellhound and says, are you scared? Don't be. Just go. The hellhound quickly escapes. Light then turns to the three girls. Are all of you ready to head to the surface? They answer, yes, Master Light, we're ready. And so Light and his companions begin their journey to complete his revenge. The moment he has waited 3 long years for has finally arrived. After that, we return to the City of Wolves. By now, Juro had become incredibly famous across the entire city. People admired him. Some even worshipped him like a god, and Juro enjoyed every bit of it. He walked forward proudly, craving even more of this attention. But then his eyes fell on a human boy. He walked straight toward him, kicked him hard, and even spat on him. Jiro said, you filthy humans. You've even reached this place. After that, he went into a bar with his gang where everyone showered him with praise. Many people called him Boss Jiro, and Jiro loved hearing it. He told them, eat as much as you want. Tonight's party is on me. Thank you, boss, they shouted. No one could believe that Jiro had now become the vice commander of the Wolf Men. And if his influence kept going like this, it wouldn't be long before he became the leader of the entire Wolf clan. The whole crowd was excited, and Jiro himself was thrilled. Everyone began asking him, Master Jiro, where did you get all this money? You must have worked really hard. You probably took only the best job requests from the Adventurers Guild, just like the job you did 3 years ago. That's when your fate completely changed. What was that job about? Are you crazy? Someone else said that was a national secret. Master Jiro can't tell you. Oh, I see. Sorry, Mr. Jiro. No problem, Jiro replied. Drink as much as you want. They kept enjoying themselves until Jiro suddenly remembered that job from 3 years ago. The job that made him rich, the same job where he betrayed Light. He murmured to himself, I still can't believe I was paid so much just to kill a child. But I never understood why the herbs said what they said or what their true purpose was. While they were still talking, a strange human girl walked in. That girl was May. May approached Jiro and asked, Lord Jiro, I know you were part of the same trap that involved Light. Oh yeah, I was part of it. Light was a good friend. I was Lord Light's personal maid. And do you know Light had noble blood? What? He had noble blood? Yes, that's the truth. I want a favor from you, she said. Go ahead, Jiro replied. I want you to take me to the place where Lord Light took his last breath. So, that's what you want. Fine, I'll do it. But inside, Jiro began wondering if he should actually help her. After all, only the herbs knew the real secret behind Light's death, and they were the ones who ordered it. Still, he kept thinking about May. Before he could say anything, May added, I'm not asking you to do this for free. I'll pay in gold coins. When they saw the gold, Jiro and his men were stunned. They immediately agreed. Jiro said, all right, he was a good friend. I can at least do this much for him. But in his mind, he had only one thought. He had to finish this mission no matter what. If this girl was setting a trap for him, she was still just a powerless human. He wasn't worried. Jiro and his gang began leading May toward the dungeon. But soon, Jiro noticed something. May's mana was slowly fading. He started forming a plan. He would take her to the base, kill her, and then do all sorts of horrible things to her corpse. The thought alone made him excited. He walked ahead and finally pointed toward a spot. This is the place, he said. This is where my friend Light took his last breath. So, this really is the place? May asked. Yes. A monster attacked him, and I couldn't do anything. It was too powerful. This was the location where Light had disappeared through teleportation. May was shocked. She began to pray for him. Meanwhile, Jiro quietly blocked the exit, ready to trap her. But May suddenly said, "How could you betray a young boy like that?" Jiro froze. How did she know? May whispered to herself, "If only I had been there with Lord Light, he wouldn't have had to spill his blood. No one would have betrayed him." May's anger rose. The man who betrayed Light was standing right in front of her. Her mana pressure exploded outward. When Jiro and his men felt the pressure, they were completely stunned. They had never experienced anything like this in their lives. May, furious, said, "I will end you." But before she could strike, a voice behind her said, "May, please don't. Jiro is my prey." Jiro heard the voice and froze in terror. It couldn't be possible, but he recognized it. Light was still alive. Light pulled back his hood and said, "Hello, Jiro. Did you recognize me?" "No, no. This can't be. You're Light." Even then, Jiro remained confident. He believed he could still kill Light. He knew Light had no powers. "You're still just a human." Jiro growled. "A human with no power at all." Light simply watched to him. "It seems you still haven't changed, Jiro. I know you must have many questions. How I survived. How I know May." But Jiro was already furious. "I'll kill you both one by one. Do you even realize you're just two humans? My entire gang is here. I'm not some level 15 human anymore. I'm level 150 and every one of my men is above level 130. We'll crush you one after another." He roared with rage. A pack of wolf monsters charged toward Light, but before they could reach him, May stepped forward and sliced off their heads in a single second. Jiro and his gang watched in shock, completely frozen. Right then, Light says to May, "May, thank you, but I need you to do something for me. Please keep an eye on the dungeon exit. No one should be able to get out." "Okay, Master Light," she says, and heads over there. By now, Jiro was completely furious. He warns his men, "Be careful around him." Even he couldn't understand what had just happened. But one thing was clear. His only goal now was to somehow kill Light. He orders his men, "Just stay with me. Humans are useless for anything anyway." Light looks at him and says, "Jiriro, you really haven't changed." "What do you mean I haven't changed? Everything I said is reality. Humans are far inferior to us werewolves. Even your rank is way lower." The moment he says that, all the wolves charge at Light. They were bloodthirsty and ready to tear him apart. But in just 1 second, Light kills every last one of them. Nobody could understand what even happened in that single moment. Light walks up to Jiro. "So now, what do you think, Jiro? Do you still believe I'm nothing?" "I'll kill you, Light. I'll kill you." Jiro snaps, stepping back. He pulls out a small orb from his pocket. "Now, I'm going to use my weapon." Free rain monster appear. Suddenly, Jiro summons a free rain monster with a level of 500. Its power was terrifying. Jiro was confident now, convinced this monster would tear Light apart. "Kid, I'm going to end you right here. This is going to be fun." Light, however, was excited, too. "All right, let's play a game. I won't move from this spot. Go ahead. Attack me as fast as you can." Jiro's monster unleashes a massive blast of magic at Light. When the smoke clears, Light is standing there unharmed. Jiro is shocked beyond words. Light finally loses his patience. He activates his unlimited Gacha ability and summons a free rain monster of his own, a criminal god level 9000, a terrifying creature with overwhelming power. The moment this monster breathes toward Jiro's summoned beast, it explodes into pieces in a single second. Nobody could understand what had just happened. Jiro breaks down crying. How can a level 500 monster die so easily? He was shaking all over. Fear had taken over completely. Then Light reveals his actual level. When Jiro sees it, his eyes almost fall out of his skull. A level 99. How can a human reach that? Humans can only reach level 100 at best. He was completely stunned. He starts begging. "Light, please forgive me. I was just following the high-ups' orders. I don't have a brain. I swear, I only did what they told me. Please forgive me." "Fine," Light says. "Then answer me this. Who are your masters?" "They're the high-ups from the surface world. They have insane amounts of energy." "What's their name?" I don't know," Jiro says terrified. Light gets even more angry. "Please, I'm telling the truth. I don't know anything." Light looks at the other wolves. "What about you? Do you know anything? Yes. Yes, I know. Me, too. But before they can say anything, May slices them into 1,000 pieces in 1 second. She says, "How dare you lie to Lord Light?" She had already used her eye judgment ability and knew every one of them was lying. She had no choice but to eliminate them. Juro, watching all of this, was terrified beyond imagination. "All right, Juro, I have one more question for you." "What is it?" "What do you think? If we fought your world's high-ups, would we win or not? And remember, you must tell the truth. My eye judgment is still active." Juro was shaking so hard his pants were already wet. "Master Light, you're very strong, but you're just one person, and the high-ups are an entire group, so I don't think you can beat them." Light hears that and gets angry again, "Just as I thought. So, Juro, you're coming with me." "With you." Light uses a teleportation spell and brings Juro to his kingdom. When Juro sees it, he's completely stunned. Light and May walk forward, entering the place where Light's entire army stand. Demigods, demihumans, robots, and many more. All of them hold deep respect for Light. Light sits on his throne, and everyone bows before him. "You may lift your heads now," he says. Juro checks their levels and nearly faints. Every single soldier's level was in the 4-digit range. Even the weakest among them was level 1500. 4 of them were level 9999. Juro couldn't believe what he was seeing. Could a human really create something like this? Light turns to him. "So tell me again, Juro, do you still think I can't defeat your high-up?" Juro looks around and realizes the truth. We created this monster." "No, he's not a monster. He's a god of destruction." Light smirks. "Did you call me a god? Maybe I am. After all, my gift is unlimited." "Gotcha." Light then announces his decision. He will travel to the surface and start a war against the high-ups. He turns to his massive army. "So, are you all ready for war?" After some time, Light heads to the surface to meet his family in a nearby village. But the moment he walks forward, his eyes go wide. He can't believe what he's seeing. The village that existed just a short while ago is now completely destroyed. He can't understand what could have happened here, but the only thing giving him a bit of relief is that he still hasn't found the bodies of his family. 6 months later, Light returns to his village with a gold knight and an assassin named Nima. The first thing he does is pay his respects to the villager. By now, he's almost certain that someone attacked them, and it might be the same secret society that once planned to kill him. Maybe while trying to assassinate him, they ended up reaching his village and wiped it out as well. Light doesn't know what to do next, but Gold, the knight, says they should leave the area soon because dangerous monsters come out at night. They could die if they stay. Namu snaps at him. How dare he talk like that? They will do whatever Lord Light commands. But even she knows they need a plan. They decide they must find the people responsible for destroying Light's village. Light vows in his heart that no matter what, he will hunt them down. When he finds them, he will destroy them. His aura becomes so intense that even Namamu tells him to calm down, and Light finally agrees. Light takes out a mask from his pocket. It will hide his identity and keep anyone from sensing his true power level. Now they're ready. Their plan is to go to the city of Dega and register as adventurers so they can gather information. That's the only way they'll find out who attacked Light's village. Namu asks why the Natsurids are there going to the city of Dega, but Light tells her that on the surface he isn't Light. He is dark because no one can know his real identity. She apologizes. Light explains they need to stay in Dega as adventurers so they can move freely and investigate. Eventually, they reach the forest and continue the rest of their journey on foot. But soon, they spot some dwarves bullying humans and stealing their supplies. When the dwarves see Light and his group, they get excited and attack. Light's team defeats them in just 2 seconds. One of the humans, an adventurer named Carnell, thanks them and says he's also heading to the city of Dega. The group joins him in his wagon. Carnell's daughter is shocked to see humans defeating dwarves so easily. She asks if they're high-ranked adventurers. They explain that they haven't even registered yet. In Cho, Dark tells her that they're going to Da to become adventurers. Carnell explains that the city of Da is a dwarven city surrounded by the human and elven kingdoms. Soon they arrive at the gate. Dark and his team thank Carnell and continue on foot. Before leaving, Carnell tells them he owns an inn and they're welcome to stay there if they need a place. The group plans to maintain a low profile as adventurers. They're excited. This is their first time exploring the surface. After reaching the Adventurer Guild, the people inside react with fear and quickly step away from them. Light thinks to himself, Looks like nothing has changed. They still hate humans. They go to the receptionist and register. But when Nima realizes they rank Dark as an F-rank adventurer, she gets furious. How dare you give Lord Dark an F rank? The receptionist laughs and tells her she must be crazy. Everyone starts at Frank. They leave and head to Carnell's inn. Carnell's daughter lights up when she sees them again. Carnell asks Dark what he needs. Dark tells him he wants to buy the entire top floor of the inn for a month and no one should enter while he's staying there. He hands Carnell some gold coins and Carnell agrees. Later on the top floor, Namamu asks Light why he wants to become an adventurer. Why not stay at the base and rule his kingdom from there? Light gets angry. Do you want me to ignore my revenge? She quickly denies it. Light's mana surges so fiercely that everything around him begins to shake. Gold steps in to calm him down and Light finally regains control. The next day, Light and the others head toward the dungeon. Everyone is excited because Gold is wearing a full set of golden armor. They reach the entrance only to find a long line of people waiting. Light learns this dungeon is extremely high level. Suddenly, a group of humans cuts the line. Everyone around them trembles in fear. Light scans them and realizes they're very high rank. Then he hears the real reason. Right now, the Dwarf Kingdom and Elf Kingdom are at war, fighting over control of this dungeon. Light steps forward and tells them there's a line, but one of the hooded men threatens. He's ready to use his signature weapon, but his companion stops him, reminding him that using that weapon here would be stupid. They leave. Everyone cheers for Light and tells him he did a great job. A group of young adventurers comes over to thank him. They ask if Gold's armor is really made of gold. He tells them yes, it's real. They ask if this is their first time entering a dungeon. Light says yes. The kids warn him that this dungeon is extremely high level and adventurers die here every day. They tell Light and his team they should bring food, but it turns out Light and his friends didn't bring anything to eat. Soon it's the kids' turn to enter the dungeon, but Light and his group had already stored plenty of supplies inside their item boxes. Finally, it was Light's turn to enter the dungeon. All of them started moving forward. Until now, none of them had explored any other dungeon, and this one was an elite level dungeon. Gold, Nemo, and Light moved ahead. Light explained that dungeons have multiple floors, and the deeper you go, the more intense the dungeon's mana becomes. And now, they finally stepped inside the dungeon, where the scenery was truly breathtaking. Light immediately pulled out a few power-ups from his unlimited gacha, and then they all started flying forward so they could clear the dungeon floors quickly and return to their own world. They advanced deeper inside. Meanwhile, in the forest, we see a few hooded figures, the same ones who previously ran into Light. One of them, the elf, stepped forward and unsheathed his sword. He began cutting down every orc in sight, overwhelmed with rage because he was still furious at Light. His anger only grew and his power surged. With a single slash, he wiped out all the orc monsters around him. He shouted, furious, I am an elite white knight. How dare that girl speak to me that way? I am a hero and my name is Kyoto. But then his companion stepped forward, another dark elf. He urged him, Master Kyoto, please calm down. How am I supposed to calm down? I have to kill that human kid no matter what. We see that Kyoto's level is 1500. He told Yannick, I'm a hero. I need to level up no matter what, and once I do, I'll finish that human boy. Yannick replied, yes, master. I know. I'll help you however I can to increase your level. And the two of them continued deeper. As for Light and his group, they also cleared several monsters and collected magical gems. By now, they had reached the third floor of the dungeon. They decided it was time to head back to the surface. They began flying upward, but on the way, they spotted a group of human adventurers fighting goblins. Light's team decided to help them. Suddenly, Light and the others dropped down from above. Before they could do anything, the adventurers began killing the goblins themselves, but then out of nowhere, a snake attacked them from behind. Light rushed forward and saved them just in time. Right then, Light and his companions sensed something approaching. Light said, an enemy is coming toward us. And then from within the forest, several dragon fang wolves emerged. Everyone froze in shock at the sight. But Light spoke up. No, these aren't enemies. The adventurers stared at him. They're not enemies. Then who are they? All the kids were terrified the moment the mantis appeared. None of them had any idea what to do next. They quickly made a plan to run back toward the guild, but that's when Light spoke up. So, I guess you guys aren't planning to finish this thing. Does that mean this prey is ours? What are you even saying? We need to run back to the guild right now or this thing will kill us. The mantis started moving toward them, but Light, Nemo, and Gold were fully prepared. Gold charged at it first and attacked with his sword, but the mantis was a high monster, and even Gold realized how dangerous it was. He knew the three of them had to fight it together. Then Light used his unlimited gacha and summoned a fireball jutsu, launching it at the mantis. But the mantis dodged it easily and even threw the fireball right back at him. Chimera, the adventurer watching them, was completely shocked. She had never seen magic like this before. Gold immediately attacked again, slamming his shield into that mantis. With just his shield, he broke one of its tentacles. Everyone who saw his strength was stunned. Then Gold slashed with his sword and cut off another one of the creature's arms. The adventurers watching were filled with excitement. Light then used his unlimited gacha spell again and fired nearly 30 fire arrows at once. The arrows were extremely powerful and the mantis couldn't avoid them at all. Light's fireballs kept hitting it one after another, and its body was almost completely destroyed. Now the mantis was terrified of Light. It decided to retreat. But before it could escape, Light summoned a wall of fire around it, trapping it completely. Chimera was thrilled watching his power. The three of them approached the mantis, ready to finish it. But suddenly, the mantis lifted itself into the air. Light ordered Nemo to move. Nemo jumped up and in just 1 second shredded its entire body with her slashes. They finally killed the mantis. Nemo's attack was so destructive that there was no gemstone left in the remains. After searching for a long time, they eventually found the gemstone. They decided to head back to the surface, but Light said they still needed to level up. Just then, Mike asked, "Are you guys one of the 3 great adventurers? Are you Shrank?" "No, we're not Shrank. We're actually Frank." Everyone was shocked when they heard that and became even more excited. Chimera then used her magic to create fresh water and clean up. The adventurers asked, "Could you please spend the night with us? We've set up camp here." Light and his team agreed, mostly because Chimera wanted to talk to Light about magic. At night, they sat by the campfire and talked. Chimera had become a huge fan of Light. She asked him, "Can you really use magic from every class?" "Yes, I can." Hearing that, Chimera was stunned. She explained, "This world has 3 types of magic. First is combat magic, which only works in a limited area. Second is tentacle magic, which includes spells like firewall. And third is strategy magic, the most dangerous type. Elves, dwarves, Dragon Knights, and others can use such magic easily, but for humans, it's extremely risky." She added, "I think Dark might be a legendary human." They continued talking about why they became adventurers. The other adventurers explained that they wanted to earn enough money to send their younger sister, Mon, to a magical academy. Dark also shared his past. "My parents died in a fire. That's why I want to complete my journey as an adventurer no matter what." Light began to feel a sister-like vibe from Mian. Chimera then asked Nyamo and Gold, "Are you two a couple?" "No, not at all." Meanwhile, in another part of the dungeon, Kyoto the elf was still furious and slaughtering orcs one after another. He carried a sword that was considered a national treasure. His companion, Yannick, collected the gemstones from the monsters. With their mission almost complete, Yannick said, "I just need a few human brands now." Kyoto replied, "Looks like it's time to eliminate them." Back at the guild, Dark and his team submitted the gemstone. It was a rare item, and the guild receptionist was extremely excited, knowing it would bring her a lot of profit. "Did you really defeat the mantis on the 5th floor?" she asked. "Yes, I did." News spread everywhere that Dark and his team defeated the joint mantis on the 5th floor. Still, no one believed a human team could do such a thing. On their way out, 2 humans named Gilbert and Civilian approached them. "Hey, kid, are you Dark? I know you're lying. There's no way you killed that joint mantis." Hearing this, Nemo was furious and ready to attack them, but the rest of the team held her back. Other species, like beast folk and others, began to get jealous of Light's team. They moved on and headed back toward the dungeon again. While flying, they met the same adventurers from before. Nan was extremely excited to see Dark and gave him a beautiful gift. Dark used his unlimited gacha ability and gave her a double S rank bracelet in return. They left quickly, heading toward the 5th floor again to kill more monsters and level up. As they flew, Nemo said, "Why did you give that girl a double S rank bracelet?" Soon, they arrived back on the 5th floor of the dungeon. Namumu and Gold had also arrived by then, but Light suddenly told them, "You two will finish this one on your own. I'm heading out." Light used his teleportation magic and decided to return to the base. The moment he appeared there, May, Ellie, and the others greeted him warmly. Everyone was happy to see Light back, so they immediately started talking with him. After that, Light began discussing the next steps. He asked them, "So, how is the revenge plan coming along?" May replied, "Yes, we're practicing every day, but we're running low on resources." Light handed them more supplies and said, No matter what, we must complete our revenge. Then he gave each girl her specific orders about what needed to be done next. Everyone headed out right away because each of them had to help Light so he could finish his revenge as soon as possible. Meanwhile, on the dungeon's third floor, Gilbert and Civilian were talking. I don't believe for a second that human kid defeated a giant mantis, Gilbert said. You're right, Civilian replied. He's lying. There's no way a human has that kind of power. So, what is he? A hero? Something else? No way. That's ridiculous, Gilbert said. Civilian eventually left to check something, but when he returned to their camp, he was shocked. Kyoto the elf had killed every one of his companions. Kyoto was filled with rage. He glared at Civilian and said, "You humans are insects. I'm going to wipe you out." Civilian froze. All his friends were dead. Kyoto had slaughtered them one by one. Civilian thought to himself, he's an elf. There's no way I can win against him. But he quickly used a smoke screen and tried to escape, but Kyoto caught him before he could get far. At that moment, Yannick arrived and knocked Civilian unconscious. But Yannick frowned and said, "No, I needed humans alive. I only have one human left." "You killed the others," Kyoto said. "It's fine. I still need to find that kid and kill him anyway." He was completely ready to continue his experiments. They had all returned to the surface. And that's where we see Mimu still arguing with the receptionist. She says, "Lord Dark and I have collected so many things. Hurry up and raise our rank to Shrank." But the receptionist explains, "I'm sorry, we can't do that because you all just joined the guild." That's when Gold says, "Namomu, what are you doing? Do you really have to act like this? At least Lord Dark shouldn't take an F rank. You should be the one accepting the F rank." But then the receptionist gives them a new task, and that task is to kill the adventurer killer. They all go back to their hotel room where they start discussing the situation. Apparently, some adventurer killers were roaming around in that area to hunt human adventurers. That's why Light and the others decide that no matter what, they need to take them down. But then Gold says, "Master, why don't we call for some help from our base?" Light replies, "No, Gold, we can't do that." While they're talking, they sense something approaching them. Suddenly, a teleportation circle appears in their room out of nowhere, and Mia comes out of it, badly injured. Light can't understand what just happened to her. Even the bracelet he gave her is now broken. Light lays her down on the bed and uses his healing magic on her. Slowly, she regains consciousness and starts mumbling, "Help me." Dark and the others can't understand what she's trying to say, so Dark has no choice but to use his magical ability and enter her memories. Inside her memories, we see all the kids still in the base. Then, a strange group of adventurers arrives. They say, "Kids, leave this place right now. Some adventurer killers have shown up, and they can kill us all." The kids don't know what to do, but they decide that staying there at night would be extremely dangerous, so they start moving toward the surface. By midnight, they're exhausted from walking. That's when they run into some elves. These elves are none other than Kaido and his partner. Kaido asks, "Where are you all going? Don't you know there are adventurer killers around who are murdering normal adventurers?" The kids say, "What is that true?" And at that moment Kaido realizes they are humans. He decides he'll kill them, too, because the adventurer killers are actually Kaido and his group. He laughs and says, "I didn't know humans were this weak. Looks like I'll have to kill you as well." But Kaido's companion says, "Kaido, I want you to capture them alive. None of them should die." Kaido replies, "Fine, I understand. I'll finish them one by one." The kids finally realize that the adventurer killer they were afraid of is standing right in front of them, and he's the elf. Mia's brother tries to protect her and charges at Kaido, but Kaido shows no mercy and slashes him instantly. He injures the remaining adventurers as well. The kids understand that they cannot defeat this monster called Kaido. Mia can't even move or say anything, but then Gimra and Mia's brother gather their courage again to protect her. They shout, "Mia, run, get out of here," and charge at Kaido, but Kaido is furious now. He slashes them brutally. That's when Kao's partner shouts, "Kao, what have you done? Don't kill them. I need them for experiments." Kaito replies, "I already told you. Any human bug that gets in my way, I'll kill them." But his partner begs him to at least keep the girl alive because she's a mage. "Please capture her so I can experiment on her." Now Kaido's attention shifts to Mia. He approaches her with twisted intentions in his mind. "Get out of here," he says to the others, "because I'm about to do something to her. She's a girl after all." He starts imagining all sorts of disturbing things and Mia can't say anything. Kaido says, "I'm the hero of the future, so I can do whatever I want with you." She starts crying. "You should feel honored that I'm going to do something to you." Mia is completely shocked, but suddenly her brother, using the last bit of strength he has left, stands up again. He wants to protect her one last time. He says, "Elf, I will kill you," and shouts for Mia to run. Finally, she runs away even though she knows she can't hurt Kaido at all. Mia's brother remembers Gold's instructions. First strike him, then remove his shield. He follows the technique exactly and manages to land a hit on Kaido's face. When Kao realizes a human actually hit him, he explodes with rage. "A human hit me." He uses his slash and kills Mia's brother mercilessly. But then the elf partner stops Kaido from completely finishing him off. "Kaido, wake up. I need them for experiments. Go after that girl. She's still alive." So, Kao agrees and starts chasing Mia. Mia is terrified and thinking, "I need to call for help no matter what." She starts running, but Kao catches up again. She accepts her death. Kao says, "I can catch you whenever I want, so running is pointless." Now, Kao starts moving toward Mia, but then we see Mia gather all her remaining power and unleash ice darts at Kaido. However, Kaido destroys her entire attack in an instant, and poor Mia can't do anything anymore. But at that moment, she presses the necklace Dark gave her, a teleportation necklace, and she teleports straight to Light. We return to the present, where Dark and his team finally understand what those elves did to Mia and the others. Meanwhile, Kaido's partner tries to heal the remaining dead children so he can convert them into pigs. That's when Kaido arrives as well. "I couldn't bring that girl with me." His partner yells, "Are you insane? You're a white knight. You even have a national treasure sword and still you lost to a little girl. If she reached the surface, she'll call the white knights. They'll discover that you stole the national treasure." He continues, "Do you know their level? White Knights are around level 2000, and their new commander, at least level 3000. Now even Kaido starts panicking. No, that can't happen." His partner tells him, "Kai, calm down. If I can just finish my research, I will level you up." Kao replies, "Fine, then I'll do it. But first, we need to run so I can continue my research." But right then, Light appears. "I won't let you do that." They're all shocked to see him because one of the elves is level 1500, and even he didn't sense Light approaching. Later, Light and the others discover that Gamimra and Maddie are already dead, but Ilio still has a bit of life left. Gold tells Light and Light immediately rushes over and uses his healing magic to bring Ilio back. At that moment, Light's past memories begin to return. He can't understand why these elves killed the humans who were his friends. And now even Kaido starts laughing at him. He says, "First I'll kill you, then I'll kill that girl who came to you." But Light warns him not to do that. He says, "I haven't informed the guild yet." When Kaido hears this, he becomes insanely excited. "I knew it. I knew I was destined to be a hero. I knew I had the blessing of the goddess. That means no one can stop me. So, kid, first I'll kill you." But Light says, "I don't understand why you're celebrating. You're my prey, and now I'm going to hunt you. You took my friends from me, so I'll give you a death worse than theirs." Now, Light becomes completely serious. He tells Gold and Nemo to stay out of this. And then he starts walking toward Kaido. But Kaido is overflowing with confidence. He thinks Light is just a human with no power. So, he lets Light come closer. Eventually, Kaido becomes furious and attacks Light directly. But Light dodges the attack in just 2 seconds. "So, this is your full strength, legendary hero." Hearing that makes Kaido even more furious, and he attacks non-stop. Even his partner can't understand how a human could be this strong. Light has no trouble at all. He dodges Kaido's attacks and strikes his ribs. The attack is extremely powerful and now Kaido is enraged. He shouts, "I don't believe it. A human kid is mocking me." He becomes so angry that he pulls out his legendary sword, Grandis, and starts slashing at Light. The slashes are incredibly powerful, and even Light is surprised by the amount of magical energy behind them. But then, Light finally starts using his own magic. He dodges everything with ease. Kaido tries a surprise attack, but Light avoids that too. Now, Light himself is getting angry. Kaido yells, "Human boy, you cheated. You said you were a mage, but you're no mage. You're a fighter." Light replies, "Did I say that? I am a mage." Kaido screams, "That's a lie. You're a fighter." And now Light uses ice water magic. When Kaido and his partner see this magic, they are shocked. It's S-rank magic. They can't believe their eyes because Light created a magic spell without any enchanting and even used an ice wall as a shield. Kaido screams, "How can I, a future hero, lose to a human boy? I cannot lose. Not as long as I have the sword given to me by my master." And when Light and the others hear Master Ward, they're completely shocked. They start asking Kaido, "Did you just say master? Do you know the master?" Kaido replies, "Know the master? I even have his blood. And I'm not just anyone. I'm a submaster myself." Hearing this, Light and the others are stunned. They had only come to the surface to hunt monsters. And now this. Kaido is overflowing with confidence, fully convinced he can kill Light right there. But then Light tells Momomo and Gold about the new plan. He says, Momomo, Gold, this elf definitely knows something about the master. That's why my order is to capture both of them alive and take them back to the base. Okay, Master Light, as you say, they reply, ready to attack Yannick, the dark elf. Yannick enters his full form. He says, I'm actually a researcher, but if you want to fight me, how about fighting my chimera instead? He releases his magic, and the strange men standing beside him suddenly transform into terrifying monsters. Chimera, a fusion of humans and monsters. Everyone is shocked seeing them. Light recognizes one of the chimera. It's an old adventurer he once met. Yannick laughs like an idiot and says, meet my creations. I made them with my own hands. So, kid, what do you think of them? Light doesn't respond. He simply tells Momomo and Gold, please end these human suffering. Momomo and Gold prepare to finish them, but the chimera attack first. They slash them with their daggers and swords, thinking they've killed them, but nothing happens. Yannick laughs like a maniac. These are my chimera. They don't die that easily. He approaches them and the chimeras keep regenerating. Momomo and Gold get angrier and finally unleash their strongest spells. Blue and purple charging straight at the chimera and wiping them out in a single slash. Yannick is stunned. He can't believe his creations are destroyed. He even starts crying. Momomo appears behind him, presses his bell icon, and switches him off. Meanwhile, Light and Kaido are locked in an intense fight, but eventually Kaido starts losing. Light taunts him, running away now. Didn't you love when your prey ran from you? So why are you running? Kaido gets furious, draws his sword, and says, kid, I'll end you. I'll show you the real power of my sword, Grandis. He points it toward the sky, and immense mana surges into it. The sword is not normal. It's a national-level treasure infused with powerful magic spells. Light realizes exactly what it is. Kaido shouts, where are you running now? One hit from this and you're done. But Light isn't affected. He says, this sword is perfect for fireworks. Fireworks? Huh, how dare you? Light returns to the surface. It stands there calmly. You think hitting me with that sword will kill me? Go ahead, try it. I won't even move. Kaido unleashes his full power. The attack hits Light directly, but nothing happens. Shocked, Kaido keeps striking him over and over, but Light doesn't take a single scratch. Light goes back into his real form, punches Kaido hard, and sends him flying. Kaido's sword falls from his hand. With no path left, Kaido flees for his life. Light says, weren't you aiming to become legendary hero? So why are you running now? Kaido cries, please forgive me. That was just a dream. Please spare my life. I'll tell you everything. I was a candidate to become the next commander of the White Knights, but I failed. Light replies, what are you asking forgiveness for? Ilio, Gimra, Vudi, and all the other humans, they begged you the same way for their lives. Did you forgive them? After what you did to them now, I'll do the same to you. Your dream was to become a legendary hero, right? So, I'm giving you one last chance. Here, take your sword and fight me one more time. And if you manage to land even a single hit on me, I'll let you live. But Kaido was already terrified of Light. So to save his life, he turned around and ran. Light immediately fired his light arrow at him and shattered one of his legs. Kaido collapsed on the ground, screaming in pain. Mia was right from the beginning. He wasn't a legendary hero. He was nothing but trash. Next, the group decides they will bury Thier Friend's bodies right there, but they will leave Ilio with Mia. They prepare to do exactly that when suddenly Kaido and Yannick speak up again and ask Light, Master, it seems you've forgotten about us. What are you planning to do with us? So, Light replies, what am I going to do with you? You're coming with me to my basement, and they'll all torture you until I learn every single thing you know about the masters. With that, they all teleport to the basement. When Kaido and Yannick realize they're standing at the bottom floor of the most dangerous dungeon in the entire world, the abyss fear overwhelms them. Just then, Light's 4 cuties arrive, all excited to see him. They ask, Light, what are these people doing here? Light explains everything. These two killed many innocent humans, and they also know a lot about the masters. Hearing this, the 4 girls become even more excited. Their only goal now is to extract information from them no matter how painful it gets. Anger rises in all of them. Ellie speaks first. I'll torture them so badly that they'll regret their entire lives. Yeah, me too. I'll use my forbidden magic on them. Another one says they get ready to begin, but Kaido and Yannick start begging Light for forgiveness again. Light replies, all those innocent humans you killed, they begged you for mercy, too. Did you forgive them? No. And now I'll do the same. Kaido and Yannick completely break down. They can feel Light's terrifying mana. They realize they cannot escape the basement no matter what they do. Meanwhile, we cut to Mia, who finally wakes up. Dark arrives and talks to her. She asks him where everyone else is, but Dark has no answer, so he gives her the last remaining keepsake of her friends. When Mia learns that all her companions are dead, she's devastated. She starts crying, but she still believes that her last friend, Ilio, is alive somewhere. Later, the group leaves. Mia has no one left. All her companions are gone. The next morning, they head to the guild. The receptionist is extremely happy with Dark's team. She says, "You came just in time. We've decided to promote your team to C-rank adventurers." Nemomo and the others are thrilled. They finally defeated the adventurer killer, but the guild still hasn't found the bodies. All they know is that the adventurer killers were an elf and a dark elf. In the evening, Dark and the others speak with Mia and Ilio. They ask, "So, what's your plan now? What will you do next?" But they have no plan. They decide to return home. Dark asks Mia, "So, you won't be adventuring anymore, and you won't go to magic school?" Mia answers, "After that incident, I'm terrified. And to be honest, I don't have any money to attend a magic school, so I'll learn magic on my own. And the next time we meet, I promise I'll be stronger." With that, they head toward their hometown. Meanwhile, Dark returns to the base to continue his next mission. Light asks Ellie and the others if they learned anything. They hand him an information paper. It says, "The Masters control the entire world, and Submasters are their disciples. They believe they can gather important information from the commander of the White Knights." So, Light and his group decide to leave immediately and search for the White Knight commander. Before leaving, Light opens a teleportation gate. Kaido and Yannick are still half dead on the floor. Light uses his power on them one last time. Ellie asks, "Master Light, are we ready to go?" "Yes, we're ready," he replies. Light's next mission is to kill Sasha, the elf who betrayed him the very first time. They also learned that the vice commander of the White Knights is Sasha's fiancé. So, first they will capture the White Knights and then kill Sasha so they can get closer to the truth about the Masters. We see Sasha sitting with her fiancé, Lord Mill. She says, "You should have seen it when I killed that kid named Light. First, I attacked his leg so he couldn't walk. Then, he begged me for mercy, but I didn't forgive him. And his face when he died, you should have seen it." Both of them despise humans. Meanwhile, Light remembers the moment he killed Jiro and how happy it made him. Now he's going to kill Sasha. Sasha rides her wagon toward her castle, excited for her upcoming wedding to Lord Mill. Suddenly, the driver stops the wagon. A human slave had stepped in front of them, dropping all his belongings. An elf guard rushes over and starts beating him mercilessly. Nothing has changed. Elves still treat humans as worthless. In this country, humans have no value. Suddenly, Sasha notices a strange child in the crowd. She feels something odd. She thinks the boy is Light. Shocked, she jumps out of the wagon and runs after him. She chases him into an alley, but finds no one. She convinces herself she imagined it, but then she notices a letter pinned to the wall. It's from Light. It reads, "Meet me at the tower." She panics. She can't believe Light is alive. She thinks if anyone finds out that Light is still alive, my marriage to Lord Mill will never happen. They might even kill me. From far away, Light and Ellie watching her. Everything is going exactly according to their plan. Their only goal now is to kill Sasha. Ellie is furious at her. Sasha betrayed Lord Light in the past and even tried to kill him. Ellie swears she will kill Sasha with her own hands. Meanwhile, in the White Knight castle, a human is seen being brutally tortured by two elves. There were two of them, one named Nia and the other named Kia. All the White Knights were gathered there, and they started their meeting. Among them was a strange elf obsessed with plots, and he was also a White Knight. His name was Sharend. The red-haired one was named Must, and the chief elf of the White Knights was present as well. Every one of them was a master. They even seemed to know about Kaido, and they themselves possessed the blood of a master. They began discussing matters among themselves. Meanwhile, those kids still hadn't stopped torturing the human. At that moment, Sharend spoke to the chief. "Chief, did you hear that elf named Kaido? He's dead. People even used to call him the adventurer killer." Sharend was a complete pervert. He had a human girl sitting in his lap, and all the elves there treated humans like slaves. Nia and Kia kept torturing the human even more. Must finally stepped in and said, "Nia, Kia, what are you two doing? Just finish him already. Don't you know humans don't have any power? You shouldn't waste time torturing them. Just kill them." But Nia and Kia didn't agree at all. They started arguing. Just then, the chief of the White Knights had enough. When he spoke, "Stop," everyone could feel the pressure of his magic. The intensity of his mana frightened them so much that none of them dared say another word. The commander ordered Nia and Kia, "Finish him, and if you don't, I'll kill you both. Must stay quiet and do your work, and Sharend tell me everything about Kaido." Sharend was furious now. He ended the human in a single strike. "Forgive me if I scared you," he said sarcastically. All the White Knights left except Shiren. The chief of White Knight began speaking to his servant. "Shiren, what are you doing? You shouldn't get so close to any human. Humans are worse than trash." Shiren replied, "It's fine, chief. I just use these humans, and honestly, I don't like human women at all. Should I get one for you, too?" "No, I have no interest in that," the chief said coldly. "I'm giving you a job. Bring me every bit of information you can find about Kaido and quickly." After saying that, the chief left. Later that night, Sasha was fast asleep, but suddenly, a massive tower appeared in the forest. It belonged to the light. Ellie had summoned it. When Sasha saw it from her balcony, she froze in fear. She remembered Light's letter. No, is Light really alive? Meanwhile, an elf was guiding a carriage of human slave children toward the castle. As he approached the forest, he saw a terrifying monster. It was extremely dangerous. The elf was so scared that he ran straight back to the adventurer guild. Soon, every elf adventurer knew about the monster. A new guild quest appeared. Whoever could bring reliable information about the tower near the forest would be rewarded with a large amount of money. Adventurers were excited. They wanted to increase their levels, too. Light's group also arrived at the guild, but then some sleazy elves walked in and started flirting with Neomo. "Hey cutie," one of them said, "why don't you join our team? We're over level 150. Leave that kid in that trashy golden armor and come with us." Nemomo refused. The elves got angry at Light. They were about to attack him, but Light suddenly summoned thunder from the sky. When it struck, the elf straight up wet his pants. He had no idea what just happened. The entire elf society now knew about the tower, so many adventurers started moving toward the forest to gather information as soon as possible. One elf party entered the forest. Their only goal was to reach the tower. Since the forest was filled with monsters, they used a human girl as bait. But suddenly, a massive monster appeared from behind and swallowed one of the elves whole. The others were shocked, and the monster ate them, too. As the monster moved toward the human girl, it did nothing to her and then walked away. Soon after, a group of strange rockstar-looking kids arrived. They poured a liquid on the girl. It was a healing potion. She was completely confused. For the first time in her life, someone had helped her. Later, we learned that these rockstars belonged to Aoki. Aoki could tame any beast and command them. Ellie and Aoki began discussing what they should do to help Light to get his revenge. Ellie seemed overly worried, and when Aoki realized what she was thinking, she got angry. "Are you seriously doubting Lord Light?" "No, that's not what I meant," Ellie said. But Aoki was furious. "Anyone who doubts my master, Lord Light, I'll kill them myself." Ellie got angry, too. They were both ready to duel, but Aoki's squad members spoke up. "Miss Aoki, we've taken the children to a safe place. They've accepted us. The mission is complete." The children had no idea another human had come to help them. After that, Ellie and the rock stars left. Later that night, we returned to Sasha. She was terrified of Light. "I guess I have to go to that forest alone," she thought. "But the forest is filled with dangerous monsters. And if the White Knights find out Light is still alive, they'll kill me. But can I go there?" She finally decided she would go alone to the tower and kill Light herself. Next, we see that all the White Knights have gathered in the council hall. They've also started hearing rumors about Light in the tower. The White Knights commander, Maddie, arrives as well, and even the Chancellor of the Elf Kingdom is there. They begin discussing what they should do about the tower because they still don't have any solid information about it. But just then, the Queen of the Elf Kingdom arrives. She gives a direct order saying it looks like they'll have to increase the reward so that more people will join and collect information for them. Everyone agrees with the Queen's decision. Later, we learn that Maddie, the White Knights commander, is actually the Queen's son. The group starts planning what their next move should be. They also know about the Masters. They're aware of an old prophecy that says a dark cloud will rise in the future and a human hero will appear to defeat him and destroy all evil. But the elves don't believe any of that. They want the humans wiped out completely. To them, humans are insects. There's no point in letting them lie. They should be eliminated. And now, everyone in the kingdom is fully prepared to head toward the tower, especially because the Queen has increased the reward so much. At the same time, we see Light and his group moving out as well. When the elves notice them, they get furious. They begin to move toward them, but suddenly Sasha appears from behind. Sasha senses that something is definitely wrong. "Human, stop right there." Light realizes Sasha is coming toward them. He tells Nimamo and Gold, "Don't do anything." Sasha starts walking straight toward Light. "Show me your face quickly. Are you talking to me? Take off that ugly mask." But Light refuses. This only angers Sasha even more. She attacks him in anger and knocks his mask far away.